Wendell, you got the agenda tonight, don't you?
I got something to say.
Good evening and welcome to the Manteno Village Board meeting for Monday, August 15th, 2022. I'd like to call the meeting to order. If we could all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Boyce?
Here.
Martin?
Here.
Dole?
Here.
Crockett? Geske?
Here.
Phillips?
Here.
We have a quorum. Tonight, as always, we begin with the approval of our minutes. In the packet, we have our minutes from our August 1st board meeting. Hopefully, everyone's had the opportunity to review the minutes. Is there any changes, additions, deletions, corrections? Seeing none, accept the motion to waive the reading of the minutes and approve them as presented by the clerk.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Dole. Second by Martin. Roll call.
Dole?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Boyce?
Yes.
Geske?
Yes.
Phillips?
Yes.
Motion carries. Public participation. I don't see anyone here. Chris, you never got anything at all? Any comments? Okay. Village President's report, just a couple items. As everyone hopefully has noticed, the construction is somewhat winding down with the blacktopping or the paving of Main Street, and now everything's striped. So hopefully everyone is adjusting to the new parking process, the parallel parking. I know there's been a few concerns about people not being able to parallel park and about handicap spaces, and everything that was done to the state guidelines. The parallel parking spots, I know, are they're plenty big enough that hopefully everybody has been able to make the adjustments. You still have angle parking across the street. There is a few more items that have to get done just in the last week. The pillars at each end where the arches are going to go got blocked, and they're going to have some signage on that's still got to be put on there. Arches are still got to go up, and some more lighting's got to get done. But the main portion of the construction is complete. So thank everybody for putting up with the dust and the dirt. But it's nice when you get a pretty nice product when it's all said and done. So. The downtown's going to be it looks good already, but when it's all finished, it's really going to look nice and be ready for the Oktoberfest. We also continue to work on our Public Works facility on the north end of town. The Public Works facility is still, the foundation's still being, poured, and a lot of earthwork and dirt work under construction there. That's a major project. Anyone that has been up that way, you'll see that it's a very big project. Again, going to go on over the course of the whole fall and winter, and hopefully occupancy will be sometime next spring, summer of 23. But it's a long, expensive project, but it's going to be a Cadillac facility when it's all said and done. And then also we're completing the construction on the Legacy concession stand. We're actually scheduled to have a small formal ribbon cutting on Thursday the 18th. And the football program will be playing out there, but you said, Jim, they're not moving out till after Labor Day?
Yes, that's the rumors I'm hearing. So they have a lot of stuff to move over, and but we're going to get everything ready for them for end of the month.
So they'll be the first people or first group that will be occupying the field out there. They're going to have a couple games out there at later on in their season.
Yes.
They'll be hopefully the concession stand will be 99.9% completed. I know we're not going to have all the flooring in, but they'll be able for them to be used. The bathrooms will be up and going.
Correct.
We'll be able to get rid of the porta potties that have been out there since the place got started. And we've got plans for more things that are, to happen in at Legacy Park. Chris, what the construction's going to be for the 10 station exercise facility?
Yeah, actually the installers are traveling today, and they'll be starting the installation tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock.
Okay, and that's the concrete pad that's poured out by a little closer to I-57. It's going to be a 10-station like workout area that and being paid for by the township, the village, and by a grant from Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Correct.
So we hope to continue to do a lot more in Legacy Park over the next couple of years. Last year was a big parking lot addition in anticipation of people coming out there. This year, the bathrooms and the concession stand in the workout area, and hopefully we'll be able to use that facility more and more. Every time I go out there, I see more people on the walking path and more people using it. Another project that we will be starting, and I know they were supposed to start last week, but then the rain, and they start on the walking path?
Correct. Yeah, I think this week.
This week, okay.
Yeah, the next day or two.
That's the walking path in front of the Dairy Queen, in front of McDonald's, that it's going to go along South Creek Drive. That's going to connect Heritage Park with County Highway 9. So when that's completed, people will be able to get on the walking path in town anywhere and be able to have access to all the walking paths from the south side of town all the way up to Legacy Park and then work their way back. So I think we're going to have a little a continuous about 6 miles of bike walking path. And those are bikes and walking paths. They're not for motorized vehicles. They're not for golf carts. They're not for anything other than people walking and biking. So getting a lot of construction done over the course of the summer, over the course of the year. But luckily, it's a good thing we started when we did, because September 1st is going to be here before you know it, and the construction season is going to be winding down. So we're very fortunate to be able to get as much done as we did this year. I have nothing further. Village Administrator's report, Mr. LaRock.
Thank you. I have nothing this evening, Mr. Mayor.
Committee reports, Public Works and Utilities, Mr. Boyce.
I got a couple items tonight, Mr. Mayor. First one is a motion to award the bids for the 2022 MFT maintenance program to Gallagher Asphalt Corporation for a price of $464,050.60. This is the MFT program that we do every year, and Jimmy, you want to comment about that a little bit?
Yep. There's a lot of smaller spots around town that we're trying to take care of. There's some curb work on West 8th Street, along with a bunch of patches in a lot of spots around town. It's a little later in the season than we usually try to get done with MFT, but we threw a lot on our engineering firm here early in the year, so we're kind of spacing this out a little bit. So you're going to see a lot of patchwork. We have, I think, 13 locations around town, so it's going to be, it should be a quick, fast, and it shouldn't disrupt too much traffic.
And you mentioned there's some curbs that are being reconstructed over on 8th Street that have been falling apart.
Yeah,
and
just
brought to our attention that
a bad mix of concrete from 15 years ago, 20 years ago, however long, and
Yeah.
so yeah.
But the sad part is that we're doing a lot of patching, a lot of spots here and there. $464,000, almost $500,000 worth of patchwork. But with the cost and the price of material these days, I mean, it's amazing how little you get for that amount of money.
You see all these labor and material prices have been escalating over the last year or so.
And that, after tonight, when we award this, what the starting time is for them?
They're looking to get it be done before Oktoberfest. It was one of the parameters they try to put into it.
My next item is Resolution 2206, a resolution for the improvement under the Illinois Highway Code, Rebuild Illinois for $150,000. Chris, you want to?
Yeah, over the last 3 years, we've been receiving earmarked money from that goes into the MFT fund, about $202,000 each year for a total of $606,000. Initially, they put quite a few restrictions on how you could use that money. That's been lifted for the most part, and so because the bids came in so high for the MFT, we're going to take some of that money and use the Rebuild Illinois funds to make up what we were shorted on in terms of budgeting for the MFT project. So we have to pass this resolution in order to be able to use those funds.
Thank you. My next Public Works meeting is on the 23rd of this month at 7 a.m. right here. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Boyce. Properties and Recreation, Mr. Martin.
I don't know anything old or new. Jim, you want to give an update on the parks? We've already talked about Legacy.
The mayor talked about Legacy Park concession stand. Quite a bit going on over there. Soccer, I think, has started up out at Heritage Park. Baseball, they still have fall ball going on. As for the other parks, no real updates.
Regular maintenance.
Yeah, regular maintenance.
All right, and
On Saturday, I was over at Heritage with, because grandkids playing soccer, and there was a baseball or softball tournament taking place there, too. I mean, there was a lot of people, there was a lot of cars, it was a beautiful day. If we get another opportunity where we have, a really nice sunny day like that with that big a crowd, I said something to Sarah about it'd be good to get some drone footage or to get some film in, because it just, there was cars everywhere, people everywhere, the parking lots were full, the
South
golf
Poplar.
carts were every
Yeah,
place.
there was cars on Poplar Street up and down.
But it just really looked, it really looked good for a small town to have that type of activity on a Saturday morning with kids running everywhere.
and everything was okay with soccer and baseball?
Yeah, I mean,
Really?
I think they coordinated that, and the concession stand was open, and the line was long, so I'm sure that it was working out good.
And that's all I've got. The next meeting, the 17th, has been canceled, so.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. Public Safety and Health, Mrs. Dole.
Would you have to talk more about the softball problem? It was the junior high varsity that was playing with a tournament of surrounding teams, and they're going to be back here again on this Saturday.
Are they? Okay,
Yeah, so
good.
that was like the pool play, and this Saturday is the actual tournament, and there's like maybe 8 teams or whatever. So I'm gathering they're going to use those 2 fields again, and they did this last year too. That was part of what they did last year too.
Yeah, I mean, it worked out, it seemed to work out great, and it just, the crowds of people, it was like,
Right, there were
it was like
people with
Oktoberfest was going on over there.
Everywhere.
Good
yeah.
place, the school got the parking lot.
Yeah,
Good
we
place to build a
were over at the school too.
Yeah,
The school was
well, they played at the
busy, too.
school, the
They
parking
played
lot
at
at the school, the
too.
parking lot at the Dairy Queen, it doesn't open till 11 o'clock, but it was full at 9 o'clock in the morning, the parking lot at that church that's there, I mean, there was cars everywhere.
But if she wants to do drone again, it's, this Saturday
Yeah.
too. So I imagine the
It's
first.
not a
thing-
bad problem to have.
No, I mean, it was small town America at its best.
And I was hearing so many things about, people didn't know where Legacy Park was. Some people went out to Legacy, and some people, people learned more about our parks. And I was hearing people talking about how nice Legacy was too. How come we can't play out there? But anyway, it was a good tournament. So, and we'll continue this Saturday too.
Good.
Okay, so now public safety. I don't have any items on the agenda, but my next public safety meeting will be September 14th at 7 a.m. here in the village boardroom. And since school starts tomorrow, we need to talk about your crossing guards, and crossing guards play an important role in traffic safety. The Manteno Police Department added crossing guards help mitigate traffic issues in school zones and play an important role in the lives of children who walk or bicycle to school. Their primary role is to help children safely cross the street on their way to and from school. However, our well-trained crossing guards are also present to discourage children from behaving unsafely near traffic, such as darting into the street without looking or crossing against a traffic signal. A guard can encourage safe behavior by all pedestrians at the school crossing. Use existing gaps in traffic to help students cross safely. When the natural flow does not allow for enough time for children to safely cross the street, a guard may need to create gaps by stopping traffic temporarily. The guard stops traffic with hand signals or a stop paddle, then verbally directs children to cross the street. A guard is always the first person in the street and the last person out of the street. Alert motorists that pedestrians are in the process of using the school crossing, and observe and report any incidents or conditions that present a potential safety hazard to the school children or the guard. As you kick off the coming school year, introduce your family to the crossing guards near your school and support their efforts to create a safe environment for your children of our community. For more information or questions about the crossing guard program, call the Manteno Police Department. And then, as we said, tomorrow's-
In regards to the crossing too, at the end of last school year, we changed the crossing light at Division Street. It used to be just turned on by the crossing guard when the crossing guard was there, for the period of time, the flashing yellow lights at Division and Poplar. Now those can be turned on by individuals. Is that correct, Jim?
Yes.
I mean, the crossing guard will still be using them, but on the north side of the street and the south side of the street, there's now a button for individual students to use those too?
Correct. Yeah, the crossing guards have a remote control that can turn them on and off for their duration of the time that they're there. And then, yeah, the buttons could be used year-round, 24 hours that somebody can come up.
So the button, an individual hits the button and the lights will go on. It doesn't stop the traffic, it's just another
Helps.
safety device, but again, we don't want people to think that it's automatically going to stop the traffic. It's just flashing yellow lights to slow people down, but it's available for anybody to hit the button and help themselves across Division Street. And then it's on a timer, it goes off after a period of time?
Yeah, it's like at 90 seconds or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Stoll. Planning and Zoning, Mr. Crockett is not here. He has nothing on the agenda. He has a Planning and Zoning Committee meeting scheduled for August 23rd at 7 a.m. and a Planning Commission meeting scheduled for September 13th at 6 p.m. Finance, Mr. Geske.
Thank you, Mayor. The only item I have is payment of bills, amount of $857,746.93, of which $30,000 were from TIF 1. Our next Finance Committee meeting scheduled for the 14th of September at 7 a.m. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Geske. General Government, Mr. Phillips.
Yeah, I have one thing on the agenda. Resolution 22-05, a resolution approving employee assistance program agreement with Iroquois Mental Health Center. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Phillips. Yeah, this was an agreement that a proposal that came from the Iroquois Mental Health Center offering any of our employees or staff any mental health center assessments free of charge for any issues or problems that they might want to discuss. So it's a great deal for the village, and any employee or staff that needs to take advantage of it, they're encouraged. If after this is accepted and passed tonight, I assume, Chris, that you'll notify or send emails out to all the employees that this is available to everyone?
Correct.
Okay. All right, so the items that we'll be voting on the consent agenda tonight are as follows. Under old business, we have nothing. Under new business, we have Resolution 2205, a resolution approving an employee assistance program agreement with Iroquois Mental Health Center. Item number 2 is Resolution 2206, a resolution for improvement under the Illinois Highway Code, Rebuild Illinois, $150,000. Under the awarding of bids, motion to award the bid for the 2022 MFT maintenance project to Gallagher Asphalt Corporation for a price of $464,050.60. And finally, a motion to approve the payment of the bills in the amount of $857,746.93, of which $30,000 are TIF 1. Are there any items on the consent agenda that need to be voted on individually? Seeing none, I'd accept the motion to take a single roll call vote on the question of passage of the agenda items as read.
I make the motion.
Motion by Phillips,
I'll second.
second by Dole. Roll call.
Phillips?
Yes.
Dole?
Yes.
Boyce?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Geske?
Yes.
Motion carries. I accept the motion to approve by unanimous vote the ordinances, resolutions, motions, and orders contained in the consent agenda as read. Motion by Boyce, second by Martin. Roll call.
Boyce?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Dole?
Yes.
Geske?
Yes.
Phillips?
Yes.
Motion carries. Comments tonight? You got anything you need to talk about or want to talk about, Mr.
No, I'm good, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Boyce? Mr. Martin?
Suck up on me, we're running out of summer and school starts Wednesday?
Wednesday. yeah.
Wednesday, so,
Diane had him going tomorrow.
Yeah, my grandkids
well,
wouldn't be.
the teachers start tomorrow, so, but it's gonna start this week, so get prepared at 7:30 in the morning and 3 o'clock in the afternoon for lots of kids to be on the road.
Yeah.
So,
That's why we talked about the crossing guards, to
Yeah,
pay attention to the
absolutely.
crossing guards, so, yeah, no, that's all I have. Thank you.
I have nothing.
Mr. Phillips, Mr. Phillips, okay. The only thing I got, Jim, I noticed too that the Public Works guys, we had talked about them painting all the panther paws again, something that really it needs to be done every year, but it looks really good. Once they start doing the paving, obviously there might be some touch-ups that need to be done, but it certainly brightens the paws up every year, and it's kind of like the start of school year. But
I think we're going to get the purple flags up tomorrow as well. For
Okay,
the first day of
yeah.
school.
leave them up for the weekend or whatever.
Yep.
Okay. I have nothing further. I'd accept the motion to adjourn.
Make that.
Motion by Boyce, second by Geske. Roll call.
Boyce?
Yes.
Geske?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Dole?
Yes.
Phillips?
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you very much for coming, for watching.